talk about WWE Saturday Night Main Event, and then we're gonna talk. Well, welcome back to my YouTube channel, my live stream. This is Jacob Cat 2024. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support. Hit that like button. Leave a comment. Please subscribe to my channel. Let me know in the comments section below if y'all want to see more. This will be in this live stream like an hour and 10 minutes. We'll see how long it is. We're gonna talk about WWE wrestling. This is we're gonna do my Saturday Night Main Event 2026 preview and predictions. There's only 4 matches on the card, and then we'll talk about Friday Night SmackDown. Hit that like button, leave a comment, please subscribe to my channel. Let me know in the comment section below if y'all want to see more. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support. Just want to say enjoy this video, this let's play. Now before I play NBA 2K26 my career, before I play this on PS5, I want to talk about WWE first. Now this video was sponsored by my favorite podcasters and YouTubers like Chris Smooth, the Rad Brad, Typical Gamer, my podcasters like the Good My Work Commentary, and JD from New York, Sound Off the Sound Off, Fight for Pro Wrestling. It doesn't say that Good My Work Commentary might not be doing SmackDown or Saturday Main Event. No podcast tomorrow either. Alright, so might talk a little bit about AEW National Championship, the AEW International Championship. Adam Pearce made a major women's title announcement because we really still hurt with the Torment Nicholas. She's not going to vacate the title, but they're going to make an interim champion at SummerSlam. And whoever wins that then will face Rhea Ripley to see who the World Championship. And so Rhea's out. Interim championship to be crowned. There'll be a fatal 5-way ladder match for the woman. Whoever wins will face Rhea to become the World Championship. That was the decision that the company made. We'll talk about SmackDown. SmackDown was nothing special. Nothing happened on this show. I just can't wait for Saturday Main Event. The OTC, Roman Reigns, the King of New York, the Mecca, Jalen Brunson, the MVP, the NBA champion of the New York Knicks. There'll be a Saturday Main Event. So we'll see what happens there. SmackDown was just terrible. It was actually kind of boring. Nothing happened on this show outside the opener with Cody Rhodes and Gunther. So Adam Pearce did add a stipulation in that main event tag team match tomorrow night. If Sami Zayn and Gunther beat Cody and CM Punk, then they will be added to the WWE Championship match to make it a fatal 4-way. That's actually more interesting. Actually made more sense and a lot more better. Seeing how the show ended with the babyface kind of thin and tall, we could see the heel go over here. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Unless Nick Aldis doesn't come back. And they don't do Nick Aldis and Gunther, which is kind of sad when you think about it. But yeah, anyway, the show opened up with Gunther coming out, called out Nick Aldis. Adam Pearce came out, made the stipulation, and then Cody came out. Then they brawled. Cody and Gunther brawled at the start of the show. After that, we got Finn Balor scores a hard earn over Tala Tonga. He beat him. Finn Balor being both strong. Baron Corbin, he was in a vignette. He delivered his mission to Trick Williams. He's going after the U.S. Championship. Tiffany Stratton qualified for the ladder match to see who be the interim champion. She beat JC James, surprisingly. And then we got Blake Monroe attacked Candice LeRae, beat her up that day. So that could be a match for next week or down the line. Could be a feud. At least Candice LeRae gets to do something. Blake Monroe gets to do something. Had they had a match I can't remember if they had a match or not. Candice LeRae hadn't wrestled on TV in a while, like a few months. Blake Monroe, she might wrestle once, I can't remember. But at least she's going to be in a feud with someone. Let it get more TV time. Also, we got Jade Cargill. She beat Nia Jax after the attack of Charlotte. Charlotte must be an idiot. She came out there during the match and tried to caught Jade. She attacked her and ended in a DQ. Nia Jax got disqualified. So Jade won by disqualification. She advances. And after she won by DQ, then her and Michin and B-Fab beat up Charlotte, beat her down. Nia Jax walked away. She complained to Adam Pearce, saying she got screwed over. Maybe we'll see Legend try to qualify next week. But yeah, there's that. Charlotte will probably have to qualify, and then we'll see what happens there. And then we'll continue this with Jade and Charlotte. Now we had a backstage segment with Danhausen prepared for Madison Square Garden with his match with Jay McDonough and a no DQ match. Now this is just a filler match just to get them on the card. JD and Danhausen in a no DQ match tomorrow night. We got the War Raiders take down Frasium. The War Raiders are the AAA Tag Team Champions. They're probably on the AAA show, but on SmackDown. They beat Frasium, Nathan Fraser, and Asium. And then the main event with Cody Rhodes and Gunther. Match ended in a DQ because Sami Zayn got involved. Then they brawled for a bit. CM Punk got involved. They all brawled. It appeared the babyface may have stood tall here. I mean, hard to see, hard to tell because the security guard had to break him up. But yeah. That was pretty much it, by the way. I actually don't want to talk about NXT. We're still injured. Interim champion now. Sami Zayn returned. Well, okay.
Let's see that again. She opens the Gemini app and asks for help hanging.
I did find the community to be a little bit extra down on SmackDown than what I kind of expected. I was quite surprised, actually, with some of the scores that the community gave this
time. Still right now, and I think Punk and said if Punk's time
down and it hasn't really blown your minds. Perhaps there's just a bit of a glass empty vibe out there at the moment. I don't know. I thought this open was a
have fun putting that together, girl. Not me. Not me. Cresta, on the whole, hurry before he runs away.
So Michael just announced the matches for tomorrow night's Saturday main event. We know that Brie Bella and Paige will defend their women's tag team champions against, I think, the tag team Fatal Influence. We'll see who wins that. I think the heels should win. They should probably beat. Well, Brie Bella and Paige should be transitional champion. I think Paige is too good to be in a tag team. She should be in the singles division. Because, God, they need it. They need a singles division. So I'm hoping that they drop it here. And Brie Bella can go away and go back. She's only here. She's only champion to get Paige over. She should drop it. We don't need a tag team champion. So I think Fatal Influence should probably win those tag team titles. Yeah, so there's my prediction on that. And then we got Lyra Valkyrie versus Bayley. That's the other match. Lyra just turned heel against Bayley. They might end the feud and move on. And the rivalry, or might continue, I'm not sure. But maybe Lyra should win and beat Bayley. If they want to build her up as a heel, have her get some momentum. So I think Lyra will win. And then for the other matches, Danhausen and Jay McDonough, I don't care who wins this match. Whether JD or Danhausen, pretty sure Danhausen might win. He should start wrestling more than to be backstage and cursing everybody. It will be a decent match. Danhausen very good. JD have really improved. So I think Danhausen will win here. It's just a filler match on the pay-per-view. And then the main event, Sami Zayn and Gunther versus CM Punk and Cody. Well, as I said earlier, the stipulation is that if Sami and Gunther win, they'll get added to the WWE Championship match. I think it needs to. I think a fatal four-way is much better. Because CM Punk and Cody Rhodes did not enough build or heat. They haven't done nothing to get us invested in that one-on-one match. Punk won the title. They announced it for SummerSlam in the most lazy way possible. They hadn't done enough to make us invested. And they're both baby faces. Sami Zayn is practically turned heel. Gunther's a bad heel. I mean, bad heel, like a legit great heel, but I did think that the heels could go over. Well, if Gunther and Sami lose some way, if we are going to get Nick Aldis in the ring competing and wrestling against Gunther, then that's a waste and that's just awful. I mean, they've been teasing it. Are we going to see Nick Aldis in his own wrestling gear? If that happens, then where does Sami Zayn go on the pay-per-view? You can't leave him off the pay-per-view after all the hard work he's been doing on TV, him being champion. He just won the championship and not a champion. How can you have him off of something? One of your biggest stars. He should be on the pay-per-view. I don't want to see him fake Gargano or something. He shouldn't be in the mid-card. I don't think people want to be interested in Punk and Cody right now. They haven't done nothing to get infected in that match. So I would do a fatal four-way. There is more heat with Sami and Punk. There's also more heat with Cody and Gunther, just based on what we saw on SmackDown, what Gunther did to Cody on Raw. So it had to be a fatal four-way. I much rather want to see that instead, hopefully. So there's my prediction. Now let's go into some of the podcasters. Let's go into Denise Salcedo, one of the podcasters.
The simple joy of guaranteed growth.
Some things are out of reach. Find out what other...
They can go something to the show, and we'll get to see more of the women. I'm all in on this, but I was really upset with the outcome of that match with Jade and Nia. Not because I was going for Jade or because I was going for Nia. It was more so the fact that Charlotte, how could they do that to Charlotte? Charlotte kind of looked a little silly. This is her ops, man. She helped her ops make it into the match. If Jade Cargill wins that ladder match and becomes champion, Charlotte is going to look hella silly. Now, here's the thing. Nia Jax obviously complained about this, and now they're going to do Nia Jax versus Charlotte next week. So now I'm wondering, is Jade going to go out there and attack her, and then also, that's how Charlotte gets into this match? What the hell is going on?
I will turn off the show if this is what they do. Okay, I will turn off the show if Charlotte attacks. If Jade attacks Charlotte, and then Nia Jax goes, "Oh, what's going on here? This is not fair." And then she gets another qualifier match, because that would mean that 3 of the 5 qualifier matches would be matches against Nia Jax. I don't put it past them. I really don't put it past them to do some bullshit like that.
I really hope they don't do that, Santi. Like, legit. What they should have done instead is if they wanted Charlotte to... First of all, I'm sorry. I actually think not. I thought they were going to do Jade versus Charlotte at SummerSlam. So I actually went into this thinking that Nia was going to win. That's what I thought. So I thought, okay, maybe Nia wins. And then after, I'm expecting Blake Monroe, Jordan Grace, maybe Lash Legend gets an opportunity in there. Like, that's kind of along the lines of what I was thinking about remote possible qualifying matches and who's going to make it in and who's not. And then it just kind of didn't end up being like that. In regards to Tiffany Stratton, though, and JC Jane, how'd you feel about that one? Because I feel like I overcomplicated this in my head, and then they ended up giving us a very simple, straightforward outcome.
You and I did the same thing. I was like, oh my God, this is so... In my head, I'm like, this is great. Blake Monroe attacks Tiffany in some way to cost Tiffany the match. We set up Tiffany versus Blake at SummerSlam where she can defend her title that she has instead of going after another title. And then we can give JC Jane finally, like a big opportunity at the women's title that so many people have been wanting to see. But yeah, they just went with the cookie cutter decision, like, oh, let's just put the bigger name in there. But I think they could have had the bigger name do something else at SummerSlam.
See, I was torn, and this is where I was torn. So, one, Tiffany Stratton to me, because she's the more athletic one and she can do all that acrobatic gymnastic stuff, that's why I wanted her in this ladder match. But at the same time, I was thinking to myself, well, she's already U.S. champion. Does she really need to be in this? Whereas JC, even though I think Tiffany Stratton's more entertaining in the ring, JC Jane, though, kind of really doesn't have anything going on right now. It feels like a lot of the buzz surrounding her when she came into SmackDown has died down drastically. I feel like I haven't seen her in weeks or whatever. And so that's what I was kind of thinking. And I remember thinking, oh, well, they can go 50-50. Let's see where they go. Once Tiffany hit the prettiest moonsault ever, I'm like, all right, it's over. And I should have known it was over too, because when they had Bree and Paige go out there to attack Fallon Henley and Laney, I thought to myself, JC Jane has been staring at this whole attack for like minutes now. She hasn't even acknowledged Tiffany Stratton behind her, and it was so painfully obvious, and it lasted so long. That should have been the dead giveaway of, hey, JC girl, you're not winning this match.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been nice for JC to win also, just to kind of give that faction some momentum going into their match tomorrow. It all just kind of, again, it just feels very ChatGPT coming up with the most cookie cutter stuff.
So, who do you think takes this? Who do you think gets added to this? We got 2 more qualifiers. Who would you like to see in those qualifiers? And coming off of Charlotte and Nia, I assume Charlotte does make it in there, but based off the selection, what do you think?
More Nia. I want more Nia matches. I feel like that's where we're going. Obviously, Charlotte's going to get in there. Which, by the way, it is interesting that you pointed out. It did feel like we were going towards Charlotte versus Jade non-title feud. I feel like they had it there. So they could have experimented with different women at the end of the day, as opposed to just trying to put the classic main eventers in there. Well, because it also would have made that ladder match a lot more like, ooh, this could be a star-making type of ladder match. Who else even is in this division now? Aside, I don't think there's room for Alexa Bliss. Somebody had said maybe a returning Naomi as a final entrant would be pretty cool.
Oh, there's no way. Did she have her baby already?
Oh, long time ago.
Okay, yeah. I still don't think she's going to be back, though, now. I feel like way more time has to go by.
Fair enough. Because she left in August. It would have been a year since she's been off. So she's for sure gone through the pregnancy.
Blake,
somebody said that,
Jordan, Kiana, Julia. Those are just some of the names off the top of my head.
All names that don't get any screen time. So I don't even know how you can justify them getting a PLE match. This is actually showcasing how poorly managed the women's division has been on SmackDown. Because there's names, but we start getting into names that have been stuck in catering for months.
Now, here's the deal, though. Whoever wins this is going to be the interim champion, meaning that when Rhea Ripley comes back, that's going to be her first feud. Yes. So whoever, gets this, this is going to be something, hey, you're going to be feuding with Rhea next. So where do we go with this? Because, okay, on one hand, they can revisit the stuff. Well, they're not no longer going to do the JC stuff. I had thought about that for a second. As of right now, I mean, they teased Charlotte and Rhea. That was but we've seen that. I wouldn't mind seeing that again. I wouldn't mind seeing Tiffy and Rhea be something there. That would be great. I don't want to see Jade and Rhea again. Been there, done that. And then I guess it depends on who else comes back. If we were to see someone like Jordan Grace win this thing, I'd be all over that. But again, that's like me, right? And maybe a few other 1,000 people. Who knows how many people? But a lot of people are going to be like, damn, we haven't seen this girl in forever. So what the hell, right? So it kind of feels like really any direction is a direction.
Unfortunately, though, any direction seems to just lead to just Rhea continuing her time as champion, right? Maybe the semantics aren't that big of a deal, But why the desire to continue to keep this title on Rhea? Why not vacate it and have Rhea come back and go after the title? Like,
I'm thinking maybe they have plans for Rhea.
But the thing is that you can go back to those plans. Like, even if you have her vacate, you have her go. You go back to the plans that when she comes back, give the title back to her. And somebody said like, oh, they want her to break the record for like longest championship reign, and maybe they don't want to like have her restart. But I was like, in WWE historically, people like the record books care more about the number of titles that you have. It would have been an easy way to give her another championship reign, like, oh, now she's an X-Time Women's Champion. I just don't get this absolute like requirement that Rhea must still be the champion. I don't quite get that.
Yeah, even the fact that they said interim champion. There was a lot of people on social that were like, interim? We really have to do interim? I didn't mind it because I thought, okay, well, now we know that who's Rhea's feud is going to be next up. So I thought like there's like that added addition of intrigue.
Wouldn't that still be the same case if she comes back and she vacated the title?
Be like, hey, I never lost my title. Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. Yes, okay. There's both ways you could have gotten there, really.
But the thing is that, like, okay, I personally think that vacating is better because then now the match at SummerSlam is for an absolute champion. We're always going to see that match now as, it's just for the interim title. It's just until Rhea comes back.
And a ladder match, too. When's the last time they even did a ladder match for the women?
They should have made this for the absolute, like, only champion. And when Rhea's good to come back, have her come back. And if you're dead set on her being champion, then have her win it then. But now this match will always have that little stench about it's just waiting until Rhea comes back. You're just the interim champion.
So let's say someone gets like this big, massive moment of champion. It's like, oh yeah, that's cute and not.
Let me tell you about my burger guy. He comes from a legacy of burger pros. Always hooks me up with the freshest ingredients. So when I
could have still done it by having her vacate, and honestly, you'd feel a little bit more sympathy then also as well. You build some of that babyface sympathy having Rhea reluctantly vacate the championship.
Oh my God. Well, you know what? That's where we're at. But this is the decision that we're starting to see some, or I shouldn't say starting, but we've been seeing some wild decisions be made in WWE, and it feels like we're getting more as of late. Maybe that's what it is, but that's where we're at right now. So let's see who ends up winning the interim championship. Either way, I'm excited. You want to know why, Santi? One, because I'm a sucker for ladder matches. Honestly, if you cloned yourself, Santi, and you made 5 other Santis, and you guys all had a ladder match, I would tune in to watch.
I think I'd make out with all 5 of me.
You'd be busting out the Cody and CM Punk love fest that we've been seeing.
No, you hang up. No, you hang up.
Oh, I love you so much, yeah. Okay, so I want to talk about that actually because there's quite a bit to get into that with CM Punk and Cody. I don't even know where to begin. All right, so we had Gunther go out there, poor Gunther with a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad hair day, by the way. Not doing so great with the hair today. Gunther goes out there, he's pissed off about everything. Adam Pearce talks up a world of nonsense and basically says that what Nick Aldis was trying to say last week was that this match, this Can They Coexist match at Saturday night's main event now has stakes. I did like this part of it, Santi, where they said that if they win, if Gunther and Sammy win, they earn a chance to be in the title match with Cody and CM Punk and make it a fatal 4-way. Now, I agree with them getting stakes, but I do not want them to win. I do not want this to be a fatal 4-way match, and I want it to remain one-on-one with Cody and Punk. However, we know how WWE likes to do things, and there's a big chance that could end up being a fatal 4-way. What are your predictions?
I still am predicting the babyfaces win here. I think Punk and Cody outright win with maybe some tension between the two because there's no tension right now to get you excited for SummerSlam. Honestly, I actually think it's more intriguing if Gunther and Sammy win. I'm actually kind of rooting for that.
You want the Fatal 4-Way?
I want the Fatal 4-Way because I would prefer for the Fatal 4-Way to maybe be a starting off point for an actual real story-driven narrative between Punk and Cody. Because right now there's nothing. Right now it's just Hey, buddy. Hey, how you doing, buddy? How you doing? I'll see you out there.
Hey, they're going on a date at Madison Square Garden, okay?
Yeah. Oh, we might go after your tag championships, Wepa King. I think that's actually more interesting and more intriguing. That being said, I don't think that's going to happen because we still have that Nick Aldis piece looming over us. I would not be surprised if Nick Aldis gets involved in this match.
Oh, that might be the moment where we're finally like, oh yeah, now he's really back as a wrestler.
The episode, what did it start with? It wasn't a recap of CM Punk debuting on SmackDown. It wasn't a recap of anything with Cody Rhodes. What did it start with?
Oh my gosh, it started with Gunther and fucking Adam Pearce talking about Nick Aldis.
Yeah, an entire recap of the Nick Aldis attack, right? They forewent the main eventers. They focused on that. That has to go somewhere. And I think the piece here is that it's a SummerSlam piece. And because it's a SummerSlam piece, it impacts Gunther being able to be part of that Fatal 4-Way. Ergo, I don't think him and Sammy win.
All right, and then this leaves Sammy with what? His hands in his pocket at SummerSlam?
Yes. Almost certainly hands in his pockets.
Bro, they're going to send Sami Zayn outside to Flyer to sell some SummerSlam tickets.
They need sales.
Santi, I was watching your video about the ticket sales, and it's insane to me. I'm people asking, oh, do you think they'll reach the 30K by the time that we get to SummerSlam? I'm optimistic, and I'm hoping that it's a yes, but I went today to go see if there was an update, because about a week ago I checked, and they were, at 22K, and I went back today expecting, 25, 26, and I was like, wait, this still says 22K, and this was posted a day ago. What now?
It went up 600 sales.
That's insane.
Since last week, since our last conversation, it went up 600 ticket sales. Night 1 actually sold more than night 2.
No.
It's bad. It's really bad. I'm concerned that they're going to bring down the capacity to 27,000.
Honestly, what do you think it is that is not landing with people wanting to buy SummerSlam tickets, where people are saying, hey, you know what, I don't want to go?
I said this in my video. I think that we reached the crossroads of the ticket prices are too high and the product's not good enough, and they've met. And now that they've met, there's no justification to go to these shows. If the product was incredible, fantastic, people will part with their money. We saw it when WWE went on that 6 months of selling out every single show that they did. People will part with their money. I mean, WrestleMania 41, it was a very expensive WrestleMania, north of 50,000 each night. Actually, it was more than north of 50,000, right? Because it was the last WrestleMania is the one that barely cracked 50,000 per night. People will part with their money if the attraction is there, if the storyline is there, if the tender love and care in their storylines is there. But I feel like I'm an authority in this, and so are you, as somebody that watches every single episode of everything that they do, and that I've done for years, that I cover for years. This has been some of the most bland that the WWE has been. There is no justifying the ticket prices. There isn't. And they can bring down the ticket prices all they want, but now they've got a problem in terms of mobilizing people even to buy reduced tickets because simply the product is not good enough. This card's insane. On paper, this card's fucking nuts. They even added the ladder match. This card is crazy. But everything that they've done up to this point in all of 2026 is now coming to fruition in terms of the. I guess what I'm trying to say is that they're now about to reap what they sowed, which is people just saying, nope, we're done. We're done paying these prices for a mediocre product.
Yeah, so here's the thing. I agree with you on both of those things, the ticket prices and then the product not being creatively satisfying, right? There's another element that I've been thinking about as to what's kind of hurt, I guess, the overall thing. And I feel like lately what we've been seeing is a lot of WWE walking back a lot of things where it almost feels like the big and the now doesn't really have an impact that much on the future storylines. For example, Brock Lesnar's retirement at WrestleMania, right? That moment. It's a bunch bunch of little examples, right? That's one of them where you think to yourself, oh my God, I was at WrestleMania. I saw something really massive happen. I got to see Brock Lesnar's retirement. And suddenly, oh, that really wasn't his retirement. So no big deal, right? Then another thing was, for example, like Oba Femi winning this whole King of the Ring tournament. And then, oh, well, you know what? He's actually not going to wrestle Roman Reigns. So like that's out the water. So like that doesn't really matter. So it's been a bunch of little things like that that I feel have made me think, oh, well, whatever happens now, it kind of doesn't really matter moving forward. For example, like let's say you watch Sami Zayn win his championship and you're like, oh yeah, like all this stuff's going to happen. And then what happened 1 week later? He's no longer champion. Right, so it's little things like that that I feel make people feel like, okay, well, if this is not a must-see, once-in-a-lifetime, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to get this amazing moment, it doesn't really feel like I want to invest in that. And that's like kind of another thing that I had been thinking about as to like what is going on here right now. And it sucks. I'll tell you right now, Santi, it sucks. I really, really want WWE, AEW, all of wrestling to wake the fuck up, shake it up, and really just do something that is captivating because no buzz in wrestling is not good for any.
With Mastria, it's always the people. The people we work with and laugh with. The people who sell cars and the people that keep them going.
Visit Mastria Mazda in...
And me make money because people flock to our YouTube channels. My YouTube channel is down, and I don't think it's the quality of the videos. It's just people aren't interested in what's going on. Stream numbers are down. Like I think that our numbers are like a canary in the coal mine. Like when people are in.
On the line. Way, then, which broke down into chaos with all four men involved. We found out on this show, as amazing as it is, that Gunther is not fired or suspended after attacking the general manager of the show last week. Nick Aldis was not here tonight. But apparently he put a good word in for Gunther and didn't want anything bad to happen to him. So the match is on, and now we have the stipulation that if Gunther and Sami Zayn actually win their match tomorrow night, which they won't, but if they do, both men will be added to the championship match at SummerSlam, which is looking increasingly likely it'll be the night one main event. And it will turn into a fatal four-way for the WWE Championship. On the one hand, I actually like the fact that they added that stipulation. On the other hand, it makes it patently obvious now who is winning and who is not winning tomorrow night. I do like there being something at stake, though, in that match. I do like that aspect of things. It is quite amazing, though, when you look at this card. We have 4 matches tomorrow, and I was thinking about this. Is this the weakest card that WWE has set up for a Saturday night's main event this year, last year, maybe ever? And I can't even bring myself to say that, because when you look at some of the more recent shows they've done, we've actually had Saturday night's main event cards that have had fewer matches than we have tomorrow. As hard as that is to believe, there was one, I want to say, at the beginning of this year where we have 3 matches. It's like they've given up with some of these shows because it doesn't air on NBC anymore, right? So it's not that shiny new toy because they're not on network TV. They're just on Peacock now. So they feel like they don't have to put quite as much effort into it. But this is where we are, and that's tomorrow night. As far as SmackDown tonight, that was not the only piece of news that WWE made. There actually was breaking news before SmackDown went on the air tonight, and they got more into detail about it on the show. Rhea Ripley has not been present on this show since the beginning of June. Actually, maybe not since Clash in Italy. She was wrestling, I think it was a live event in Italy back in early June. But we have not seen her on SmackDown in quite some time. And she's the WWE Women's Champion, and now we're only a couple of weeks away from SummerSlam. Right? 2-3 weeks, whatever it is. Kind of odd. We got an update from her at the Power Slap event last week. She was asked about, what's going on with you? And she said, well, I've been dealing with a bit of an injury. I have a slightly torn meniscus, but it's in a very weird place and I'm having trouble bending my knee and I'm getting real close, but like I'm not there yet. And so, we're just trying to get over the hump. And I said this the other day. I said, that doesn't sound good. That does not sound like a positive update from somebody who is bound to be on the SummerSlam card defending her championship. So just strip her of the belt. Let her take all the time she needs to get her knee back to 100%, because obviously you don't want her coming back if she's not tip-top. She's too important to that SmackDown brand. She's one of the biggest stars they have. And we'll just move on from this, because it's been bad enough that we actually have a women's world champion who is present every single week on Raw, but never defends her title, and then we have a champion on SmackDown who's injured and can't defend her title. Something's got to give here. So just strip her of the championship. And my suggestion was you could just make the Charlotte Flair-Jade Cargill inevitable match that we all figured was going to be announced. You can always make that a title match at SummerSlam and put the belt on one of them, and when Rhea comes back, she's got a ready-made program to go back after her championship. Well, we now have an update on Rhea Ripley. She is, in fact, not going to be stripped of her women's championship. They are doing the interim title bullshit that we have seen done in other places like UFC and AEW. We know that Tony Khan loves his interim champions, and now they're doing it in WWE. This is the update from earlier. Adam Pearce, actually, they put a video out with him on social media. Adam Pearce is the interim acting general manager in the absence of Nick Aldis. And he announced that Rhea Ripley, again, she's been out. She's been recovering from a torn meniscus, and they're not quite sure. She's getting very close, but they're not quite sure when she's going to be medically cleared to compete. So she's out of SummerSlam. And so what they've decided to do, 5 women are going to be decided upon. 5 women are going to qualify for a ladder match at SummerSlam to crown a new interim WWE Women's Champion. And then upon her return, Rhea Ripley will come back, and we will effectively have a unification match to have one singular, undisputed WWE Women's Champion. If you've heard me talk about the interim stuff before, and maybe I wouldn't mind it so much, like when Tony Khan has done it in the past, if it was like a one-time thing or an every now and then thing, he loves the interim title stuff. And when I was talking about it even then, people were like, well, they do it in UFC. And I'm like, I don't give a shit. What does that have to do with my thoughts on interim titles? Because UFC does it, that means it's okay. Because UFC does it, I'm supposed to like it. I don't give a shit. Most of the time, if not all of the time, I think it is fucking stupid. And I'll tell you what's even dumber about it. They are so scared to take the title off of Rhea Ripley because they want so badly for her to still be the champion when Crown Jewel rolls around. Right? We could very well be looking at a situation where it's Rhea Ripley representing SmackDown, taking on Io Sky representing Raw. Whatever their plans are, I think that's part of what's going on here. And they desperately want to make sure that Rhea is still the champion. So they're going to do this interim title nonsense instead of doing the most sensible thing that there is to do, which is when you have a champion who is unable to compete and they are unable to appear, for example, at one of their biggest events of the year due to injury, you strip them of the championship. And you do exactly what you're doing here. You can have a 5-way, you can have a 6-way, you can have however many women you want. You have a ladder match at SummerSlam for the vacant championship to crown a new champion. When the now former champion is ready to come back, they will do so, and they will be able to challenge for the title that they never lost. It's simple. Like, this stuff does not have to be overly complicated. There is no need for there to be a second belt created, which for them, it'll just be a replica they'll pull from WWE Shop. I'm convinced most of the belts we see on TV now are just replicas from WWE Shop. And so now we have another champion. And now we're going to have this stuff where who's the undisputed champion and all that. I'm like, why? Why? She's already been out since the end of May. Just strip her of the championship and hold it up in a ladder match. But no, we have to do the interim title nonsense. Fine. Idiotic is what it is. And actually, we had qualifying matches tonight. Speaking of idiotic, we had qualifying matches tonight. We had in one of them, it was Nia Jax against Jade Cargill. And in the other one, it was Tiffany Stratton going one-on-one with Jacy Jayne. Jade Cargill is going to the ladder match at SummerSlam, which as soon as you heard that it was going to be Jade Cargill and Nia Jax, you had to figure that that was going to be the case. Which means that they're absorbing what would have been the singles match between Charlotte and Jade into this ladder match now. And look, it is what it is. Like, again, if this is what they're going to do, Rhea's hurt, it is what it is. I get it. Because Charlotte and Jade, two of the bigger names in the division, why wouldn't they be in the ladder match? Fine. I have no issue with that. I'll get to the actual matches and how those played out here in a little bit. And in the other match, it was Tiffany Stratton, the United States champion, against Jacy Jayne. Tiffany Stratton, Minnesota girl. Going to SummerSlam, she will be in the ladder match. Jacy Jayne, thanks for coming. There is no spot for Jacy Jayne in the ladder. Unless they do some sort of last chance qualifier, she will not be in the ladder match, which is absurd to me. But then I also, I kind of scribbled down a list when this announcement, this news first broke earlier, of well, who would be in this match? Who would make sense to be in this ladder match? And you have the obvious names. Charlotte Flair, Jade Cargill, right? There's two of the five right there. You have Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss, they already shot an injury angle, right? Jade broke her arm last week. She's out. You ain't putting Alexa Bliss in there. You already shot the angle. So she's off the table. You have Tiffany Stratton. Now, she's already got the United States Championship. She should be defending the U.S. title at SummerSlam. There's really no need for her to be in this match. Now, she is a former world champion, true. But in a perfect world, they would have already had a program set up for her. But, of course, they don't. And so I get it. I understand why they would want Tiffany in this match. Minnesota girl. She's been going around doing publicity for SummerSlam, right? Oh, coming to my home state. I can't wait to go back home. Yeah, but you got no fucking opponent. They've set nobody up for her. Who is she defending the U.S. title against? What have they set up for her to do at SummerSlam? Nothing. So, of course, you're just going to put her in the ladder match. So, Tiffany Stratton, Charlotte Flair, Jade Cargill, right? That's three right there. Who else do we have here? Put the baddies on the side, all right? Put the baddies on the side. Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green is not getting a spot in the Women's Championship ladder match. It's just not happening. Blake Monroe. She is allergic to wrestling. They have yet to have her in the ring wrestling a match on any episode of SmackDown. Why would she be in a ladder match for the Women's Championship? And if she can qualify, I think that would be great. But realistically, she's probably not getting in either. Julia and Kiana James. Julia and Kiana James are so low on the totem pole, no, you can't possibly expect any of them to make it into the ladder match. Julia maybe has an outside shot. Realistically, it's probably not going to happen. Jordynne Grace is basically done. I mean, she's a complete non-factor at this point. I had to look it up to see when the last time was that she even wrestled. They have her wrestling sporadically on Main Event. I don't know what's going on with her. It's not like she's injured. If she's wrestling on Main Event, she's done. I mean, I'm sorry to say it, but basically she's out of the picture. So they don't really have a lot of options beyond that. You know, I mean, you're looking at the names I mentioned. And then again, if you want to, I think Blake Monroe may have to end up being in there because they may not have a better option here. I mean, beyond that, again, you got Meechin, B-Fab, fucking Candice LeRae. Who am I missing? That's basically it. This is what we're looking at as far as and how Jacy Jayne doesn't get a spot in this match is beyond me. But this is what we're looking at right now as far as the Women's Championship is concerned at SummerSlam. It is not an ideal situation, but again, this interim champion nonsense, I mean, they're trying to be, we're trying to be like a real sport. We're going to have an interim champion. But again, you don't have to reinvent the wheel here. There's no need for this. Just take the title away from her and crown a new champion. Very simple. This was not a good show. It was very dull for the most part. Actually, the thing that surprised me the most about this show, I mean, Fraxium going out there and having a good match is not a surprise. It was a match, though, between Fraxium and the War Raiders, which the fans did not give a shit about when the War Raiders came out. By the time this match was over, though, it was, if not the best thing, certainly one, up to that point in the show, the best thing. And actually, as I sit here, the best thing on the show. As I reflect back on that, the best thing on the show turned out to be Fraxium and the War Raiders, which was nice because, again, when was the last time the War Raiders really did anything of note on TV? But that's the best thing I could point to here on this show. They did certain things as far as, you know, kind of moving things along for tomorrow night. We saw that at the end of the show with the big brawl with all four men in the main event. They have these qualifying matches. I like the idea of there being qualifying matches. The qualifying matches were no good. But wait until I get to the stuff with Jade and Nye. It wasn't even a match. It was an angle more than a match. This was not a good show. You know, I sat here for so long talking about how awful 3 hours of SmackDown was, and I was advocating, please, to the wrestling gods above, please, can we get 2 hours of SmackDown back? And I feel like now I need to start a petition to get SmackDown from 2 hours to 1 hour. Maybe 90 minutes. We'll compromise. How about that? 90 minutes of SmackDown. This is what I'm going to be advocating for from now on. I'm going to continue to cut time from this show until they can figure out a way to get it right. 90 minutes of SmackDown is what we need. This is your SmackDown review. It is Friday night, July 17, 2026. Oh, July 17th. 2011. 15 years ago tonight, I believe, was this the night that CM Punk won the WWE Championship for the first time from John Cena and Money in the Bank. And then took his title and put it in his refrigerator. A historic night. Like and subscribe. Super chats are open. We will be reading all of your messages at some point here during the stream. We're going to hang out. We'll answer your questions. We'll do what we do. And then if we hit the likes goal, which we're going to find out right now what that goal is, we will be doing our Be the Booker segment a little bit later on. Hey, Nico. Yeah, Nico's been going crazy here for a while tonight. All right, here we go. Let's take the wheel for a spin. See what we have. $450. The wrestling gods. Yes, it's like Lucha Underground. A gift from the gods would be 90 minutes of SmackDown. 450 likes is what we're going to need. Hey, True Crime Unleashed. Thank you for the super chat, brother. We're right around 250, so we need, what, minimum 200 more likes? I think we could do that. And we have a bonus goal going in the chat as well, so you guys work on that. I'm going to work on this. Happy birthday, Oh, is it Daphne's birthday? I didn't know that. I didn't know that today was Daphne's birthday. How old would she have been? Oh, what a sad tale that was. Anyway, let's get into this show here. We'll start from the very top. And the top involved Gunther. One half of the tag team on the heel side tomorrow night. It's Saturday night's main event, coming to the ring by himself, but not until they recap the events of last week's show, which included the SummerSlam challenge being issued between Cody Rhodes and CM Punk. They will be wrestling for the WWE Championship. And then to close the show last week, we had that brutal attack by Gunther on Nick Aldis, putting him in the sleeper hold repeatedly until Cody Rhodes came out to make the save, and then the show went off the air. And then Brie Mode was activated. Thankfully, that also happened off the air. This one happened on the air, though. Venom Katetsu with the $25 Brie Mode. We heard Brie Mode tonight. I think I had my head down. I was taking some notes here. And then I heard Brie Mode, and I looked up, and I was like, dazed. Thank you, Venom Katetsu. So after all the recaps and all the bullshit, Gunther made his way down to the ring, and he talked about, priding himself on being a professional. But he felt that he's been mistreated ever since joining SmackDown. Yeah, you don't say. You don't say. It's been quite the journey for Gunther this year, from how he started 2026 to where he is right now. He said the truth is that he should be the WWE champion right now. And Gunther blamed Aldis for making this very personal by forcing him to team with Sami Zayn tomorrow night against CM Punk and Cody Rhodes. He said that Sami was beneath him. So that brought out the interim general manager, Adam Pearce. Pearce said that on the subject of Nick Aldis, Gunther should be thanking him for sticking up for him and saving his job. Because if it were up to him, he would have fired Gunther. But Aldis basically asked for him to stay, keep the tag team main event tomorrow night intact. This includes the stipulation, which was news to Gunther, but the stipulation that if Gunther and Sami Zayn win their match at Saturday night's main event, the two of them will be added to the main event at SummerSlam between Cody and Punk to make it a fatal four-way for the WWE Championship. And so that announcement brought out Cody Rhodes, who ran out to the ring jacketless, immediately double-legged Gunther to the ground, and Gunther fled out to the floor. Cody was all fired up. He did that thing that he does where he gets very angry and he screams, "Enough!" That's his thing now. Like a substitute school teacher when the class is just out of control. Enough! he tries to sound all tough. Like he's gonna whoop that ass. And so he talked about Gunther slamming that car door on his head, which bloodied him up a few weeks ago on Raw. That's what took him out of the championship match with Sami Zayn, which then paved the way for CM Punk to take his spot. And that's why CM Punk is now the WWE champion. He hasn't forgotten about that. Said he was going to drop Gunther on sight. So he also said the road to Saturday night's main event runs through Albany, New York, and he challenged Gunther to a match tonight. He looked to Adam Pearce to make it official, and so he did. And that is how we ended up with our main event tonight. Yes, you all like that, right? Enough! See, Cody doesn't say it as deeply as that. It's not intimidating enough. That's the problem. Like, I can see, like, if he had, his kid or whatever is misbehaving at home and just, he starts yelling, "Enough!" Like, the kid probably looks at him and just laughs and walks away. As far as adding the stipulation, I like it. I like the fact that now there's something on the line in this match, but there is no doubt now as to who's winning. At least before there was some doubt, maybe Cody and Punk, they're not getting along. I mean, even before, though, I said Cody and Punk are going to win because I can't see either one of them taking a loss. This is what I just talked about on the Sound Off. I said, we got this main event coming up this weekend, and I'm going with Cody and Punk to win, if for no other reason, because I cannot imagine either one of them taking a pinfall loss in this match. This only solidifies it, because everything that they have done leads to a Gunther-Nick Aldis match at SummerSlam. That match is 100% going to happen. And no, they're not having Gunther wrestle both nights. We went through this with Obafemi. Nobody is wrestling both nights. That's the match they're doing. Gunther is not wrestling for the WWE Championship, and frankly, I don't want to see a fatal four-way. I don't want to see a fatal four-way. I don't even want to see a triple threat at this point. Like, you've made your match. This is the match that you promoted. This is the match that you promised. Just do it as is. The biggest match they could do right now, Cody and Punk, has not been done before, not this go-around. So in that regard, it's a fresh match, two big names. Sorry for Sami, but keep the match the way it is. We don't need to see a fatal four-way. The only question really is, does Nick Aldis show up to cost Gunther? Now, if he shows up in a way that costs Gunther the match, that really fucks over Sami Zayn. And so what a terrible general manager that would make Nick Aldis, because Sami didn't do anything. Sami's already walking around with a new t-shirt that says "Justice for Sami" on it. I don't know why Nick Aldis would cost him a potential title match at SummerSlam. So does he interfere during the match? Does he show up after the match? Does he show up at all? Right? What are they going to do next to set up this inevitable showdown with him and Gunther? Do we see him tomorrow night? That's really the only question here. the actual stipulation. I like adding that to the match. Now, at this point, they air the Adam Pearce video that I mentioned earlier that dropped on social media, where he told people that Rhea Ripley is not going to be cleared for SummerSlam. He announced that there's going to be a ladder match to crown this interim women's champion. Then we had a match. It was Finn Balor one-on-one with Tala Tonga. Last week, Finn Balor beat Tama Tonga. And this week it was Finn. I was going to say, it was Finn Balor against. No, it was not. It was not Finn Balor against Kyrie, although that is a match I would love to see. Unfortunately, we are not going to be able to see that match. But now that it's been presented to me, that would be a hell of a match. I have a feeling that he would be back to Finn Balor. You put him in the ring with Kyrie Sane. Who remembers the photoshopped image from many years ago in the cage of Kyrie and Brock Lesnar? I think Kyrie was giving him a spear. Don't mess with Kyrie. She's a tough one. Anyway, as I was saying, maybe for Be the Booker, yeah, Ricky, that's true. If we do an intergender match and Be the Booker, we could actually land on that. So, Balor beat Tama Tonga last week. This week it was Big Brother. I say Big Brother. He's technically Little Brother, but literally he's Big Brother. So that's what this match was. Coming out of a commercial break, Tala dropped him with a running power slam for a 2 count. Balor made a comeback. He was looking for the coup de grace, but Tala Tonga grabbed him off the top. He was setting up for a Tala T-bomb. Balor reversed that into a DDT.
Let's see that again. She opens the Gemini app and asks for help hanging pictures. Oh my, they're up against it here.
Here. Gunther at SummerSlam. Been very kind to us. Monday Night Raw was dull. Dull and full of stupidity was Monday Night Raw. Wednesday was terrible. Wednesday's Dynamite was sheer, utter, complete garbage. And Friday Night SmackDown was no better. And I'm not really expecting a lot from Saturday night's main event. Oh, JD, you hate pro wrestling, man. No, I just hate bad pro wrestling. I hate low-effort pro wrestling. There's nothing really to enjoy. SmackDown was boring. It was filled with 2 women's matches that nobody gave a fuck about. Gunther and Cody Rhodes again in the main event. And over 2 hours, we got 2 disqualifications in 2 pretty big matches. And once again, WWE, and once again in pro wrestling in general, we can't hand out wins and losses when they need to be handed out. Show seemingly has not gotten any better, which I'm not really surprised by, since the move going back to 2 hours. The biggest thing on tonight's show is the fact that WWE tonight, in the opening segment, I thought that we were going to get an announcement from Adam Pearce that Nick Aldis went to upper management and wants to deal with the Gunther situation one-on-one personally. I thought Adam Pearce was going to come out and announce that Nick Aldis will be going one-on-one with Gunther at SummerSlam. We didn't get that. Instead, Nick Aldis came out, berated Gunther for his actions last week, and all the while gave us an added stipulation to tomorrow's All-Star Tag Team match in the main event of Saturday night's main event at Madison Square Garden. I will be live for that post-show tomorrow. Not a lot to talk about, and the show looks like utter shit, but I will be live. Gunther attacked Nick Aldis last week, but before he attacked Nick Aldis, he gave Nick Aldis an ultimatum. He was upset that Nick Aldis made Cody Rhodes and CM Punk official for the main event of SummerSlam, Night 2 for the WWE Championship. Gunther was not pleased. He feels like he was wronged. I don't know why anybody, including Gunther, would think that he gets a WWE Championship match after his recent string of actions. He attacked Cody, he attacked Nick Aldis. Don't know why he would be granted a title match. On top of that, worst of all, he's a loser. The guy's become a
back there.
So he attacked Nick Aldis last week on Friday Night SmackDown. At the end of the show, Cody Rhodes came out.
Game predictions once again came true. Is the game almost getting too easy for you?
Not at all. That's more of a reflection of my confidence in what I know my teammates are capable of. When you know A, B, and C are covered, it frees you up for whatever else might come your way, you know? And yeah, as of late, I've been real free.
Yes, you have. Thank you.
All right, thanks.
In what way?
What other new games we got for you?
What the hell?
So we attacked Nick Aldis last week on Friday Night SmackDown. At the end of the show, Cody Rhodes came out. We didn't really see it live on air because they cut right away at 11 o'clock. Time management wasn't their friend last week. So this week, Adam Pearce filling in once again for Nick Aldis, who's out because of last week's attack. Said that if he was just a calm individual, he would have gotten his stipulation. So the stipulation was, they came up with it, I guess, within the last 7 days. If Gunther and Sami Zayn beat Cody Rhodes and CM Punk at Saturday night's main event, if there is a clear, decisive winner, and Gunther and Sami Zayn beat CM Punk and Cody Rhodes, by any means, I guess, pinfall, submission, count-out, disqualification, so happy. Then both Gunther and Sami Zayn get added to CM Punk and Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam in the WWE Championship match, and it becomes not a one-on-one match anymore, but a fatal four-way. So we could be looking at a fatal four-way with CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, Gunther, and Sami Zayn. Now, I don't think WWE goes and does that. They very well could. It doesn't really matter. Because the only reason why they announced CM Punk and Cody Rhodes with 2 weeks to go, 2.5 weeks to go till SummerSlam, is because SummerSlam tickets are in the fucking dump. They're in the toilet. WrestleTix updated their Twitter account, and as of yesterday, July 16th, tweet went out at 8:40 p.m. that night. The updated ticket bracket for SummerSlam is 22,364 tickets distributed. Current setup for SummerSlam is only 29,535, with near 6,000 tickets still available for the allotted setup that they have for SummerSlam. That's on night 2. That's on night 2, the night that CM Punk and Cody Rhodes will be in the main event of SummerSlam. 7 days before this tweet went out, and since the announcement of CM Punk and Cody Rhodes, only 633 tickets were moved since the announcement that this match has been made official for the main event of SummerSlam. So that may speak to you in a variety of ways. One, WWE is ice cold, which is not really surprising. The trust in the product is just not there. The creative is just not there, and the fans are speaking with their wallets, and the fans are taking a stand. The current direction of the product is not where we want to be. And the same people are in the main event, the same matches are being featured over and over and over again, and WWE is hyping it up as if it's some major fucking breakthrough And they're creating engaging, unbelievable, can't-miss television. The fans are finally speaking with their wallets. That's one variable. The other variable, number 2, is CM Punk and Cody Rhodes. It's just not a draw, which I find very difficult to believe. I think if you put that match anywhere on a fucking card outside of Minneapolis, it would have already been near sold out. Genuinely. Cody Rhodes and CM Punk are not the problem. Cody Rhodes is more of a problem than CM Punk, but a match between them is not the problem. Do not engage with people who deem that is the problem. It's not the problem. It's not the problem. Why would it be a problem when this is legitimately a first-time match in WWE since they both returned to the company? With both men at the top of their game right now, why would that be a problem? You may be bored with Cody Rhodes. You may not be bored with Cody Rhodes. You may be bored with CM Punk. You may not be bored with CM Punk. I think if you're bored or not bored with both guys, I think that all evens out. I really do. And I understand there is Cody fatigue. There is massive Cody fatigue. Fatigue that Cody might not want to admit. Fatigue that Bruce Pritchard and Triple H and TKO might not want to admit. Oh, it's there. It's absolutely there. I can't stand when he's on television anymore. I roll my eyes and I just literally find anything else to do. He's just not an interesting character anymore. He's not. I don't find him interesting at all. I didn't even find his interactions with CM Punk tonight interesting. WWE creative and the product is in the dumps. I think that much is for certain. They may not want to admit it, but it is. Cody Rhodes and CM Punk, that's option number 2. I don't find that to be much of a problem. Number 3, ticket prices. They are still very expensive. Everything is too expensive nowadays. Everything. Cost of living and the economy that we live in is absolutely ridiculous. They are absolutely slaughtering us out here. Ticket prices are way too expensive. And you mix ticket prices still being very expensive and WWE pricing the product the way that it is, when it's not worth the price that they are charging, people will start to speak with their wallets. People will start to speak the language of TKO. Money. Number 4, Minneapolis. I've said it time and time and time again. When I think biggest party of the summer, when I think Summer Slam, I don't think Minneapolis, Minnesota. Who wants to travel to Minneapolis in August? It sounds boring. Boring. No disrespect to people that live in and around Minneapolis. I just don't give a shit about traveling to your city in the dog days of summer when I am being promoted to watch the biggest party of the summer. I want palm trees. I want beach. I want cold adult beverages. I want girls in bikini. I can't even fucking speak. Bikinis. I want summer. There's nothing about Minneapolis that resonates with summer. You take all these things into consideration, and WWE is down. Big time. The announcement of them possibly changing the main event, I think of it as maybe WWE doesn't want to give away CM Punk and Cody Rhodes for the first time ever in WWE at this stage. I don't know if WWE wants to give it away when the ticket sales are selling this low. I don't think WWE wants to give it away at this stage of their careers.
NBA stars and all five-star hotels and velvet
at their disposal.
This you see before you
the interest in the
is what happens when reality really hits.
Is that a line from where show you show me Road World?
It's actually called The Real World. Groundbreaking video storytelling right there. Be respectful.
Hey man, something's going around. The whole team's got it. I'm talking players, coaches, scouts, even the TV people. So,
MP, fluids, okay? Gotta do lots and lots of fluids, all right? You hear me? Fluids.
There's definitely something going around. That's why I'm standing back here.
No, bro. I gave you the rest of my sandwich, remember?
At their disposal. When the interest in the product is as low as it is right now. They thought by announcing that, they'd have an upswing in tickets. They thought by announcing this match that things would be better. They'd get that momentum back. This is exactly what SummerSlam needs. We'll announce this match and then we'll try and break even here. We'll try and have a decent number at the end of all this. It's not going to be better than MetLife. It's not going to be better than last year. But we'll try and end with a very respectable number. They're not going to end with a very respectable number. I doubt they even get over 30,000 at this point. So why are you giving this match away, which is supposed to be a difference maker? And it's not making any difference whatsoever. For reasons that are probably WWE's own doing. Their own fault. So with the announcement of this stipulation tonight, I say, fuck it. If Gunther and Sami Zayn get added to the main event, fuck it. There's nothing to lose. CM Punk and Cody Rhodes certainly didn't make a difference in selling tickets, so why the fuck are you gonna keep Gunther and Sami Zayn out of the main event? I feel bad for Sami Zayn because the reason why you took the belt off Sami Zayn was to put it on CM Punk so that you can give us Cody Rhodes and CM Punk one-on-one in the main event. And at the end of all this, Punk and Cody didn't make one lick of a fucking difference, and you took the belt off Sami Zayn for absolutely no reason. Legitimately, the way ticket sales sit right now, Sami Zayn walking into SummerSlam wouldn't have made a fucking difference. And you took the belt off of him after 9 days for absolutely no reason if this is where we're sitting right now. The WWE wanted to take a chance. Sami got fucking thrown to the wolves. TKO threw Sami Zayn into the fucking fire. Goodbye, thank you for your contribution. You got your moment in Saudi Arabia, now move over for the big boys who are going to take us to where we need to be. Yet they didn't. Justice for Sami, legitimately. If anybody belongs in the main event of SummerSlam, it's Sami Zayn. So fuck it. If they want to add Gunther and Sami Zayn and make it a fatal four-way, at least, WWE will have given Gunther and Sami Zayn a main event spot. And then we save Cody Rhodes and CM Punk for a later date. And we don't immediately rush to the match, being that the match doesn't really have a fucking story to begin with. Oh, you're my friend. Yes, we're both good friends, and we don't want anything to come between that friendship. But a championship opportunity fell out of the sky, and it fell right into your lap, and you seized the moment. Just say when. SummerSlam. You got it, friend. That's not a story. Nobody wants to see slop. Especially with two of the biggest stars in the fucking company that are two of the best storytellers in the entire business. You insult my fucking intelligence and you waste my time when you don't give me the most important aspect of why we love pro wrestling. Story! They used it as a vehicle to sell tickets. It didn't. They used it as a vehicle to sell tickets. It didn't, and you fucked Sami Zayn over. So why not? Get him in the main event. So maybe they do put them in the main event. Maybe we're looking at it all wrong. Gunther and Sami Zayn get into the main event. Nick Aldis and Gunther get their match at WrestlePalooza. Everything seemingly is coming together very late. Nothing WWE is doing is going to swing the momentum in their way to sell tickets. They are doomed. What they're looking at is what they're looking at. They're not going to get anywhere where they have to be ticket-wise. Any way you look at it, it's going to be a failure. Or, if Gunther and Sammy by chance get into the main event, we could be looking at a situation where Nick Aldis shows up on Saturday, tomorrow night, after this stipulation was handed over to Gunther. Maybe Nick Aldis doesn't want Gunther in the main event. Maybe Nick Aldis says Gunther doesn't deserve a main event spot. But the stipulation is Gunther and Sami Zayn get in. They have to win as a team. They have to work together. They don't like each other. But a win for them gets them to where they both want to be, and that's in the WWE Championship match because they both feel like they've been slighted. They both feel like they've been wronged. Maybe Nick Aldis shows up tomorrow night, costs Gunther and Sami Zayn the tag team match at Madison Square Garden. So you would think, leaving that show, that we're still on board with Cody Rhodes and CM Punk. One-on-one for the WWE Championship. Come Friday on SmackDown next week, Gunther and Nick Aldis will be made official for SummerSlam. Where does that leave Sami? Sami Zayn didn't do anything wrong. Gunther and Nick Aldis have a problem. Nick Aldis was targeting Gunther. He was focused on Gunther. He had nothing to do with Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn was caught in the crossfire. He was collateral damage for Nick Aldis going after Gunther. What if Nick Aldis causes a DQ? Well, causes, not really a DQ, but a loss for Gunther and Sami Zayn. Gunther and Nick Aldis get a SummerSlam match. Sami, because of Nick Aldis's frustrations with Gunther, they add him to the WWE Championship match at SummerSlam. That's Sami's door into getting onto the SummerSlam card. Because the way we look at it, if we go Nick Aldis, Gunther, Cody Rhodes, and CM Punk, where does Sami Zayn fit on the card? You can't leave Sami Zayn off of SummerSlam. He's been a centralized figure on SmackDown all year. This is the height of what he's been doing all year. You're just gonna leave him off of fucking SummerSlam? I don't give a shit what you think of Sami Zayn. You don't leave Sami Zayn off of SummerSlam. He's been the most intriguing character all year on Friday night. You can't just leave him off the show. There's 2 nights. It's inexcusable. You can't find one fucking place for this guy across 2 nights? Nick Aldis cost them a tag team match tomorrow night at Madison Square Garden. Gunther and Nick Aldis gets made official. Sami Zayn gets in because of Nick Aldis feeling bad about what he did to Sami Zayn. He gets involved. That's their backdoor way of getting Sami Zayn into the WWE title match. And instead of Cody Rhodes and CM Punk going one-on-one because clearly it's not making a difference, and clearly they fuck Sami Zayn over for absolutely no reason, thinking that it would make a difference to put the belt on CM Punk and give us Punk and Cody and leave Sami Zayn out in the fucking garbage. Throw Sami Zayn into the main event. The only negative to that is we just saw a triple threat match in Saudi Arabia at Night of Champions. It was Cody and Gunther and Sami Zayn. This is Cody, Punk, and Sami Zayn. It's the only negative. You'd be running basically the same main event from Night of Champions at SummerSlam minus Gunther. But this is WWE's fault because they're chasing ticket sales. They're not chasing logic. They're chasing ticket sales. They're not developing story. They're throwing whatever they can at the wall to see what sticks. They're throwing whatever stipulation and whatever pro wrestling trope they can at the wall to see if it will generate interest. And nothing they do will generate interest because the product sucks. The product is cold. Interest is down. No matter what you do, trust is not there. There's only so many weeks people can give up on this fucking slop every single week and throw their hands in the air and say, you know what, I'm fucking done. Until this shit gets better and until it is more accessible for normal people like me and you, I don't give a fuck about what's going on right now. It's basically what it is. It's basically what it boils down to. Sami Zayn may have found a backdoor way into the main event of SummerSlam. And good for him. Good for him. He absolutely deserves to be there. Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley has not defended the championship since Clash in Italy. A long time ago. We're now going into SummerSlam. She's maybe made one TV appearance and she limped into the ring and she didn't really do much of anything. No feud was set up. She showed up. She was injured. Went silent. And as of this past week, showed up at a Power Slap event to see Jake Hager get his fucking teeth knocked down his throat. Showed up with Buddy Matthews, her husband. And then revealed that she has a partially torn meniscus. Right now it's difficult to stand, she can't keep her balance, and she needs to rehabilitate to get back to normal. We just don't know when she will be back and how long she will be out. So the discussion has been starting about what we do with the Women's Championship on Friday night, the WWE Women's Championship. On one hand, on Friday night, you got Rhea Ripley, who's injured, not defending the title, out. Hasn't defended the title in close to 2 months. Then on the other brand, you got Liv Morgan, who hasn't defended the fucking WWE Women's World Championship since she's won it at WrestleMania from Stephanie McCare. You got two women's champions who can't defend their belt for two different reasons, and two women's champions that have absolutely made both of their championships worse off. WWE can't write for shit when it comes to the women. They've absolutely buried Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan's more like a manager than she is a champion. And Rhea Ripley is just injured and incapacitated and can't defend the championship because she's hurt. So now the discussion is, well, let's get the belt off Rhea and put it on the line at SummerSlam in some way, shape, or form. Both Jason and I talked about it on TNT. And we said, just take the belt off Rhea, put it on the line in a Jade Cargill versus Charlotte Flair match at SummerSlam, and just crown a new champion. WWE today announced that they will not be stripping Rhea Ripley of the championship because you can figure out why. WWE just can't part ways with mommy. Rhea Ripley is still the women's champion. So WWE is holding qualifying matches, 5 of them to be exact, where all 5 winners of these qualifying matches will earn a spot in a ladder match at SummerSlam to crown a new interim WWE Women's Champion. On one hand, some people are thinking, well, that's great. That's fantastic. On the other hand, it just speaks to everybody as favoritism. And I don't really fault those people for speaking favoritism. I don't really fault those people for complaining about preferential treatment to Rhea Ripley. If she can't wrestle, she should not be the champion. Now, WWE may look at this diagnosis and may look at Rhea Ripley's torn meniscus and feel like she could be back within the next month, month and a half. And it's not worth taking the belt off of her because it will ruin plans. And the easiest way for them to go about it is to keep the belt on Rhea Ripley, crown an interim champion, and then when we get back to business, Rhea comes back, she wrestles the interim champion, and we crown the real women's champion on Friday Night SmackDown. Sure. Whether that happens at WrestlePalooza or whatever the PLE is in October. But if you look at this situation and cry and complain about preferential treatment, I'm not going to complain about you feeling that way. You have every right to feel that way because that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what's going on here. WWE held 2 qualifying matches tonight. Tiffany Stratton beats Jacy Jayne. And Jade Cargill beats Nia Jax by disqualification. I don't think the match even went 3 minutes. Good. Charlotte Flair interrupted. She cost Nia the match. Jade won by DQ. So Jade and Tiffany Stratton, who's the United States champion, by the way, both of them qualified for the ladder match. I don't know who WWE is going to put into the other 3 spots in this ladder match, but we are already off to a terrible start. Tiffany Stratton is the Women's United States Champion. Shouldn't WWE be coming up with a story and a match for SummerSlam regarding Tiffany's United States Championship? Why is she qualified over JC Jane for a Women's World Championship match when she's already a champion? If you don't want to be the Women's United States Champion, then give the belt to somebody else and let them defend it the way that it needs to be defended. If you want to go after the Women's World Championship, then maybe you don't need to be the United States Champion. That's the way that I look at it. I don't really understand how you have Tiffany Stratton holding a belt, going after the top belt in the company now, all because Rhea Ripley's injured, by beating somebody that just made their debut 3 months ago. Just a weird decision to not include JC Jane in a ladder match, which could propel her career. That's the way that I look at it. What a weird decision to put Tiffany Stratton in that match and not JC Jane. JC Jane could make that match and she could make a fucking career out of it. No, but we'll just put Tiffany Stratton in there because we need star power and we're afraid to push our young, upcoming talent. Just a weird decision to me. Just a very weird decision to me. All that decision tells me is that WWE is fucking lazy and they can't book for the United States Championship. Why do we even have one? Why do we have a Women's United States Championship if you're not going to defend it at the second biggest show of the fucking year? Time and time and time again, young, upcoming talent's got to be pushed to the side for people that don't make a fucking difference. If Tiffany was off the show, nobody would give a fuck. Nobody would care. But the fact that Tiffany's from Prior Lake, Minnesota, and they gotta put her in the SummerSlam card, on the SummerSlam card because they're in Minneapolis at US Bank Stadium, let's get her on the show. Doesn't make sense to me. Jade Cargill. We were spared a Jade Cargill match tonight. I'll take that as a positive. Thank you, Charlotte Flair. I apologize for some of the things I said about you in the past. Now because Charlotte Flair took Nia Jax's championship opportunity away, now we get a Charlotte Flair and Nia Jax match next week. I guess you give and you gotta take, huh? I'm assuming Charlotte will advance. Somebody will come and help Charlotte advance. They're not leaving Charlotte out of this ladder match, especially with Jade in this ladder match. Nia Jax is not going to be in a ladder match at SummerSlam. Nobody wants to see that. And being that they need to load up the match with stars, Charlotte is the biggest one they have right now since Rhea Ripley is out. You know who else would look good in this ladder match, chat? You know the woman Blake Monroe that they got hiding in the fucking shadows backstage for 4 weeks now, introducing herself to everybody, sneak attacking everybody on the roster, trying to make a point. Why don't we introduce her to the ladder match? How about that? How about that? But by the way, we see JC Jane getting fucked over. I don't really give them a lot of benefit of the doubt to put Blake Monroe in a championship opportunity at SummerSlam. Who else is going to be in this ladder match? Who else is on Friday Night SmackDown that would even be worthy of a ladder match? Let me guess. Julia? Kiana James? They'll take all the existing feuds and put them all in this ladder match. Great. Remember Jordan Grace? Where's she at? What happened to her? Whose cereal did she fucking piss in? This show sucks. Everything about this show sucks. In a AAA Tag Team title match tonight, we were supposed to get the team of Damian Priest and R-Truth. I guess they canceled this match for whatever reason. Whoever made this match in the first place is a fucking idiot. So now they've done everything to not give us this match, so they defended the titles against Fraxium tonight, which ended up being the best match of the entire show. We got a Saturday night's main event card coming up tomorrow that is absolutely, maybe the worst Saturday night's main event card we've gotten all year. We'll go over this very lackluster SmackDown right here tonight. This is your SmackDown post show right here on Off the Script. It is your Friday, July 17th, 2020. S5. Nothing wrong. If Aldis wants to go attack Gunther. Again, that may be too confusing for WWE. That may be giving WWE too much benefit of the doubt. Or they could just add Gunther and Sami Zayn to the main event and save these matches for WrestlePalooza, because there was once upon a time that Mark Shapiro says they want WrestlePalooza to be one of their biggest IPs. They want WrestlePalooza to be on par with WrestleMania. Supposedly. So if we do Punk and Cody at WrestlePalooza, and then Nick Aldis and Gunther at WrestlePalooza, maybe WWE is admitting that SummerSlam is a failure, and they don't really give a shit about booking Nick Aldis and Gunther at SummerSlam and giving Cody and CM Punk the main event of SummerSlam. But if you do that, then you're leaving Sami Zayn off of the card. I would much rather just do Sami Zayn in the triple threat match with Punk and Cody, Gunther and Nick Aldis at SummerSlam, get everybody where they need to be, and then you can run WrestlePalooza with Cody Rhodes and CM Punk with more time to build for a story. And Gunther and Nick Aldis could get their match at SummerSlam. Sammy gets into the main event, and we can just do Cody and CM Punk at WrestlePalooza. Being that it hasn't made a lick of a difference for SummerSlam. They may or may not be blaming Minneapolis. WWE's got nobody to blame but themselves. There's a lot of different reasons why Cody Rhodes and CM Punk did not move that much as far as ticket sales for SummerSlam. Fans are frustrated. Tickets are too expensive. The story and the creative is terrible. There is no story between these two at all. Genuinely ask yourself, who the fuck is going to be interested in a Cody Rhodes and CM Punk match outside of it just being a good wrestling exhibition? Don't you, as a fan, want more? Like, ask yourself that question.
James Park is the all-in-one workspace. We are a very small startup, so as shopping model.
Rose, just them having a wrestling match with nothing behind it? Because we need to sell tickets for SummerSlam? Because it needs to be the SummerSlam main event for X reasons? Or would you rather watch Cody Rhodes and CM Punk with proper build and proper story, animosity, tensions? You want to see someone win, and you want to see someone lose. Right now, you're going into a match where the audience doesn't give a fuck about either guy. Nobody cares who wins, and nobody cares who loses. That's the decision that Triple H is faced with. Why are you wasting a match to basically fucking save your asshole from terrible creative, making it the main event of SummerSlam, when we the fans deserve better? The way that I look at it, Sami Zayn got fucked. Because you took the belt off of him to put it on Punk to sell this match, to sell tickets. Meanwhile, if you kept the belt on Sami Zayn, it wouldn't have made a single lick of a difference. People weren't showing up to begin with. With Sami as the champion or not. So again, I ask, how do you leave Sami Zayn off of the SummerSlam card? You don't. You put him in that match. Nick Aldis and Gunther. One-on-one. Sami, Cody, Punk. Triple threat match. The only downside is that this match already took place at Night of Champions. But this is the price to pay. This is the price that WWE has to pay for wanting to throw a wrench into the IWC. Now you're going to double dip the same main event that you did at Night of Champions. Only difference is it doesn't include Gunther. I will say the stipulation has made the match a little bit more intriguing. Adam Pearce then gave an update on Rhea Ripley's injury. He says that she would not be able to compete at SummerSlam with Ripley. I can't even fucking speak, man. It's one of these fucking nights, man. I feel terrible. With Ripley's return timetable uncertain, 5 women would have the opportunity over the next 2 weeks to earn their way into a ladder match at SummerSlam. The winner of that ladder match would be crowned qualifying matches in the SummerSlam ladder match. Finn Balor. He went one-on-one with Tala Tonga. Match went 9 minutes. 6 minutes of it was given to us on TV because we had a 3-minute commercial break. Chad, I have to ask you, Chad, what is this Balor feuding with the former MFTs doing for anybody? Is it doing anything for Balor? Is it doing anything for Tama Tonga? Is it doing anything for Tala Tonga? The answer is no. Then you are correct. They moved Finn Balor over from Raw. They moved him away from the Judgment Day to put him in a weekly feud with the former MFTs. I am finding it very difficult to believe how this was a fruitful move for Finn Balor. Who does this benefit? Who gives a shit about this? And why do I need to care about this? I genuinely want to know. Genuinely.
Yeah, me too. Finn Balor.
It's a waste of my fucking time.
Exactly. Finn Balor's in the mid-card.
This is 9 minutes of my life I cannot get back.
Yeah.
Pick it up after the break here.
Yeah, this thing sucked.
Tala Tonga was in control. This guy delivers a British Bulldog-like power slam. All he wants to do tonight is hurt Cody Rhodes. Pierce agreed again. Champion, give her some top-tier opponents and write a fucking story for her to get her on the card to defend her own championship. Having JC Jane come into this look like a fucking loser and end up losing because she plays air guitar. What a weird fucking decision. She's the new girl in town. She started off like gangbusters in Trick's eyes to not out in fucking Light Madison. I've been watching the shows and I see in the ring to cause a DQ. This match consisted of Cargill missing a pump kick, Jax hitting a Samoan drop, leg drop by Jax, got a 2 count. She then missed the Annihilator, which gave Jade an opening to hit a spine buster, and that was basically it. So it's either one of 2 things. One, WWE said, fuck this match. We just need a way to get Jade Cargill into the ladder match. Or 2, they realize that Jade is utterly fucking terrible, and they are doing everything possible to not give her any time in the ring whatsoever. I'll take option B. Jade is shit.
Exactly.
Genuinely.
Exactly.
If she disappeared tomorrow, nobody would notice. So I'm assuming now, because Charlotte attacked Jade, we'll get Jade attacking Charlotte. And maybe somebody will come to help Charlotte get into the ladder match, because I just can't see Triple H leaving Charlotte Flair out of the ladder match. Backstage, Jackie Redman interviewed Gunther. She asked how...
Well, I will just end the video. Until next time, hit that like button, leave a comment, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support. Until next time, I will see y'all later. I will do Saturday main event show tomorrow night. I think I'll do it. I may do it on the WWE, maybe on WWE 2K. We'll have to wait and see.